Good morning, guys. KC Gilly. Yesterday I put up a video showing where I had dug out a pit and I'm gonna set up some greenhouses over it. And today I'm gonna be actually constructing the Quictent 10 by 20 by 6.6 foot greenhouse. 10 by 20, about 7 foot tall. And the reason I dug the pit is because I don't want to just walk into a 6 foot tall greenhouse. I think it's short, and I didn't want to put it on stilts like I did at home. So I thought, you know what, I'll just dig a pit and I'll grow down in there, and then that'll also hopefully solve my winter problem with the cool. So we're going to give it a shot anyways. But what today's video is about is I want to show you in the book how they label these parts. I've got the stuff spread out, and I've taken a paint marker and I've written down that now they have stickers on them. You may see some of the stickers, but they were small, and I wanted you to understand how these things are set up, because the first time I did this, I remember it was really a pain in the butt. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what the book shows me, and then I'm gonna show you how it's laid out before I ever put anything together. I'm also gonna tell you that this is what you get to put this stuff together. Okay, and I'm not using that. I'm going to use the real stuff, and I'll show you what that is as well. Okay, now instead of this Allen wrench, I'm going to cheat and use this drill with an Allen bit in it. It's going to make it 10 million times faster, and instead of the little cheesy wrench that came with it, which does work. I did it the other way last time with just the Allen wrench and that little wrench. It will work, but you will be there forever. Instead, it's a 3/8, so I just went ahead and got a good one there, and it's got a ratchet end on it. That'll make life just a little bit easier on me. So that's part one. That's the tool end of things. Now, in this instruction booklet, do you see how these things are labeled? All the numbers, okay? I'm gonna point out before I start assembling it. I'll start with the base when I do assemble it, but there are certain things that will kick your butt if you're not paying attention, okay? So I want to show them to you. Let's check it out. Okay, here's everything laid out. And I will tell you, they want you to assemble the base first. So I'm going to start with the base. Here's 4 and here's 5, okay? In one way or another here. I wrote down on there number 4 and number 5, and I've done that with little paint markers. And you'll see as you go along, you'll put those together first on each end. There's another one down there. Let me see if I can get in a little closer. There's 4 and 5 on the opposite end, exact same pieces. And you will notice, let me get back out of it now. Okay, so like this here, you notice the little cup sitting up. That's because this will set into that. Okay, and a lot's going to happen all in this one spot. Now the base is assembled, and I want to show you what I was talking about in these corners, now that you can kind of see it. I mean, you have this many things need to go together here, all in one spot. Okay, so here's your floor, right? This is going to be a brace as we go up to the next level that will run across diagonally, kind of like so. I don't know if you can tell. All right. So this is step 2 in the book, right? Kind of stand up those diagonals on the ends and bolt those guys in. Okay, but look what's going to come on the next step. Okay, we're going to start putting the hoops up, right? And here's what you got to know. As you see, I had to take the nut back off, okay? Because when I go to put the hoop in, it's going to have to go inside of this one. All right, so this is what I mean on orientation. So I suggest combining 2 and 3. And don't put a nut on that dude until you're done. For sure on these two guys, you know what I mean? You're just going to keep running into it. So this is kind of how it's going to go. And I will tell you that at the end of this number 2, this pipe right here is number 2. You see? Oh, that dadgummit. I'm awful at camera work. Okay, so we got number 2 down there, and we have another one right here. And 3 is going to have to slide into 2. So I'm going to have to take that bolt out on that one too. So my suggestion is go ahead, instead of just exactly following the directions in the book, I would go ahead and put the first hoop, number 1, in, right? I'm following the steps that the book says, and I'm at the end of step 2, and I'm realizing to go to step 3, I'll have to take stuff loose. So let me show you. This is 2 and 3, step 2 and 3 combined. It says to hook the diagonal in and then stick your bolt in, okay? But look here, you've still got, I'm trying to hold this. I'm not tightening anything down, so everything's rinky-dink right now. Okay, this next pipe had to go in there too for it to work out right. So I had to take the bolt back out, you see, so I could slide this in and put it in and catch this diagonal bracket right here. If you can see that guy, had to catch that guy also in there. And by yourself, like right now, you see I'm kind of holding it, but I may have to snug it all up just so I can move on in peace a little bit. But I mean, every joint you go to, it's going to be the same thing on the next one, okay? It's not difficult, but by yourself, it's quite a bit. An extra set of hands would be a blessing. Okay, this is 2 sections of pipe here on this front of this base, going horizontal here. Number 4 and number 5 stick together. The only part that you need to pay attention to is the ends. Right where it's going to connect on the end, it's got a cup on it, and it's set up like that on each side, because the next layer is going to set on it. Now let me show you what they look like. This is what I'm talking about right here, okay? And I want you to see that we have this piece, we have the next piece running off, which is going to be a 3, okay? We have this piece, a diagonal brace coming off, which is your 6 and 6-1, and we have this piece, which is a 7, okay? All of those are held together with 1 bolt. This diagonal needs to be in the middle. The rest of this base here is going to set right here on this guy, and the hoop edges will be on the outside. This is one of those things that I screwed up on. Since I'm doing it by myself, you don't put it together where they're in these long runs. You do it one little section at a time. And what I found myself doing on accident, now the bottom was easy. I put the whole square, the whole rectangle here together all at one time, and so it was right, okay? And then the first vertical pipe here is on the outside. But what I found myself doing is I was screwing up, just trying to balance everything, and I had this pipe on the outside here, and I had it on the inside here, and on the outside over there. I mean, I just wasn't paying attention. So pay attention and make sure that the hoops are on the outside of the entire thing, okay? Also, recognize at every single joint, you're going to play this game here, okay? You're going to have the next piece up sticking out. You're going to have to connect this pipe and this pipe. One of them's going to be dangling over there, all right? And you've got to get this bolt through all of those 4 pipes before you can move on. And you're going to run into that all the way down. So, if you will start on these ends where these diagonal braces are, get those first 2 little sections here on each side done, okay? Then you got some kind of brace. Just the hoops holding it will help balance it, especially if you're doing it by yourself. If I had a partner, it wouldn't be so bad, but same thing on this end. Get these 2 next and come across and get all that stuff set up. You just need the hoops at this point, okay? Once you've got that, the rest of it's pretty easy. You will notice, and I'll tell you, I did cheat and I went ahead and I tightened down all that stuff, even though I would like to put some 3/4 T's in between each section so I could come back with PVC pipe just to strengthen and reinforce this tarp where it won't be whipping around, okay? But I had to go ahead and tighten them bolts down so that thing would hold steady, because it was really sloppy and falling all over the place. Which also reminds me, I told you guys that this 3/8 wrench, I was going to use a real wrench because I didn't like the little one that came with it. Well, it's not a 3/8. It's something just a pinch bigger, and it's not a 10. It may be an 11. It's some Chinaman stuff. This is made in China junk, okay? So I did use their little cheesy wrench that they supplied, but the drill has made all the difference to scoot on along, okay? I just found an Allen wrench that would fit. I will tell you, with the drill, you need to be easy because this stuff is so flimsy and weak that it will flatten this out. Okay, another thing to remember, all of your bolt heads need to be on the outside and your threads need to be to the inside on the entire thing. See what I'm saying here? That way when we put our tarp on, we don't tear anything up, okay? Now, even though I have set up these hoops, you'll notice there's no bolts in them yet. And the reason why is these leftover pipes you see down here on the ground, okay? They're all gonna go to this next section here, okay? About face level. And I have to stick bolts through all of them. So let me back off here now. So you kind of, what you see on the bottom is gonna happen again as far as what's running horizontal, okay? This top horizontal pipe, there'll be another one running here, one down the center all the way down, and one down here, okay? That's what this next part is, but it'll be easy now, okay? Main thing is always remembering to keep on the inside of the hoop because the plastic tarp needs that nice smooth edge to go onto, all right? So let me get this thing finished up and then I'll let y'all check it out. Okay guys, well you can kind of see the general idea there. That's the plan. I'm gonna put the other one right behind it. Try to hurry up and get that dude built. This one took me a little while. I forgot a few things and hopefully I've shared enough. If you guys get one, it won't be so bad. Get a teammate, it'll make it much easier. I'm gonna have to do something on the base there. My pit, that bucket was just about exactly the same size as that. So I'm gonna have to put some kind of little bracing. I'll stick something in the walls horizontally down there in the dirt and then come off of it and build a little brace. But when it's all said and done, these bottom pieces, I'll have it cut out with a regular door frame. That piece will be gone back there almost all together. I'll use a little bit of the end of it to tie into the next one and I'll make them one. But you can see, I mean, that's a lot of growing space. Okay guys, I know it's ugly. It ain't nothing to look at. I just needed to make sure and see how that would fit. And I see if I could get both of them there. And don't worry about all that crinkly, wrinkly looking stuff. I'm gonna build some kind of a base for that thing to set on square and level. And it will beef it up a little bit too, something I can anchor it to. But you know, that's 40 feet. That'd be a good growing space right there. Have to admit, it'll be all right. Get everything leveled out where it doesn't look silly like this. I know it looks ugly, but it's gonna be just fine. I just need to fix that little bit up. But the two greenhouses are put together now. Good enough, I can see what I need. So this will be in increments as I can video it, I'll show you. But this is kind of on my free time when I can tinker with this. So, but 2 quick tents in the day, no problem. The second one was, I did it in probably a third of the time. I mean, so fast. It was no problem the second one. Once I understood how the first one worked, got rid of my little problem areas. Anyhow, future beautiful garden hiding right out here, the secret garden. And I don't know if you can see, hang on. Okay, but now I'm standing down here in it. And look how high, I don't know if you can tell. I bet it's 12 feet tall up there. You know, and that gives me a lot of room. Something like that, like 12 feet. So the time I get all this stuff sturdied up, it's gonna be nice. I left that sloped on purpose. I may dig out a little on the sides wherever the door's gonna go and then make me some little steps, just leave the dirt, put a board or something, maybe some little rocks or something later. But like I say, as I have time. Hope I didn't confuse you guys as bad as I did myself. I had like probably an hour's worth of footage showing you all little details as I went. And the more I listened to myself, it was just chaos. Sometimes it's easier just to show you. So pay attention to little things, the orientation, where things slide into one another, and you'll be okay.